number one asset in business is make the people you're dealing with know that they matter.
You don't want people on your team who are constantly insecure, who don't want to chase their dreams, and sees working with you as a backup career to what they actually want to do.
Success is a feeling. It's not a series of check marks and goals. I think people define success as finish lines.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time. What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and I want you to find it, embrace it, and use it to make a difference. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message. Cheer for everybody. Over to you, Mel Robbins. Also, if you want to hear what Mel Robbins and other successful entrepreneurs have to say about building confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series.
I know that everybody's problem comes down to one pattern you're repeating that you can't see.
When you set goals, when you have an intention on something that you want to change about your life, your brain helps you.
You know, I talk a lot about being honest with yourself about what you want. And if you're somebody that's watching this and you have no clue what you want, I'm going to say that's total bull.
Every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a 30-second to 5-minute video for free every morning to help you build unstoppable confidence. The link is in the description below.
I wake up every morning. Espresso keep me going. I wake up every morning.
I had tremendous success in the speaking business. I went from zero, never had been paid for a speech, to literally the most booked woman in the world in 3 years flat.
Crazy.
And there's a number of reasons why. Number one, the content's terrific. I'm also a really good public speaker. There's not a lot of women on the circuit, but more importantly, I behave in a way because I know that the number one asset in business is make the people you're dealing with know that they matter. Take care of everybody you deal with, everybody. The event planners, the speaking bureaus, everybody has something that they're worried about. You get rid of the worry. You make them feel like they're important. Everybody wants to be around you because at the end of the day, we all want to know that we matter. So if you do business with people that make you feel good, you want to do more business with them. And so it's a really, really simple thing. I call it, my philosophy about human beings is just be a fan. Just cheer for everybody. There's so much success to go around. People have really difficult lives. They make things really hard for themselves. Make their life easy. Make them feel great. Give them a hug, smile, compliment them. Be generous. Don't be a pain in the ass. Like literally, it's that simple.
When you want people to win more than you want them to win with you, that's when you actually win. Say it again. When you want people to win more than you want them to win with you, that's when you actually win. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we get so caught up in our business. We love our business, we want it to win, we're so mission driven, we want this company to succeed, that we look at the people on our team and we want them to be with us forever. We want them to dedicate their souls to the business. But you gotta recognize that they may not be with you forever. As much as that might be your plan, they may not be with you forever, and it's in their best interest to actually leave you. So for me, I see things in a parallel path. I see I'm running this line, I'm running down this path here. And when somebody joins my team, we're running this path together. And we may run this path together for the rest of our lives, because that's the best thing for them. But at some point, they may need to jump off and go do their own thing. They need to go do their own path. And if that's the best thing for them, then I will push them to go and actually do that thing, because I want them to win more than I want them to win with me. And that's how I ultimately win. So a quick example, story. Danny, the guy who's helping me with my Becoming series, he vlogs all the stuff behind the scenes. His goal is to become a Netflix producer. He wants to make videos that he sells into Netflix or Amazon, feature-length stuff. And I pushed him so hard this past week when we drove up from Boston. I'm telling you, you gotta write the script. I'll brainstorm with you. On the drive down, we're figuring out what the idea is gonna be, what I envision as a brainstorming point for him, what the script could look like. I'll guilt him into doing it. I found these toys that he really likes in Boston. I said, I'll buy those 2 toys, and if you finish your script by the time we get home, you get to keep them. And if you don't finish the script, I will stomp on them in front of you. You have to watch me destroy these toys that you love. And then he finished the script, and it was great. I said, okay, you finished the script, you're early, awesome. What's next? Let's do a casting call. You can use my space here, TDS, to do it. You need a factory? Let's find one of my friends who might have a factory that can help you. Basically doing everything I can. Like I wake up thinking about him and his movie and how I might be able to help him do it. Thinking about locations, thinking about who he can work with. It's an obsession. Like, the worst thing you can do is tell me your goal, because then I become obsessed with helping you accomplish it, even if it has nothing to do with my business, because I want you to win. And so his first movie, it might be on my channel. Awesome. It'd be an honor, like, to have the first video that starts his career. It may not be. It may not be a fit for what I'm doing. And ultimately, it may mean that he leaves me to go off and become a film producer. That we're working together for 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 6 years, 10 years. Or he has to then jump off and go do this path because that's actually better for him. That's great. Like, the worst thing possible for everybody is that I force him to stay where he is. That he always wants to do this thing, but he feels like he has to stay on this path. Where I think a lot of bosses either trash the dreams of the employees that they have, or don't take enough time to support them and understand them to help them get to where they want to go. The best thing for me to do is, if Danny wants to go off and be that guy, is to help him go off and be that guy. And that will create a hole for my business. Now nobody will be in that role for what I need. Ultimately, I'll find somebody who can fill that role, and Danny now loves me, and it's going to come back. Right? Even though I don't care about what the repercussions are, like how it comes back to me, it's not why I'm doing it. Just seeing him win is great. But if you keep helping people win, and even if that means they leave your company, I guarantee a good chunk of those will come back and help you in unexpected ways. The karma becomes super practical. And when you want people to win more than you want them to win with you, that's when you actually win. So how do you do it? Let's get to some specifics. Number 1, set up monthly meetings with everybody on your team. Everybody who's the closest people to your team, meet them once a month. Get to know them, build a friendship. It doesn't mean you have to be best buds, but what you want to do is create an open environment where they feel free to share with you what's on their mind. It'll never be 100%. People always have a fear of sharing what they're thinking with their boss. Even if you're the most nicest, open door, welcoming person, they still won't tell you everything. But you can create the best environment possible to once a month, not just talk about business, not just talk about, did you get this done, and here's how we're doing in this progress. You might think I meet with my team a lot. I meet with them every day. We talk about all these different things, but it's all business related. Once a month, meet to talk about them. Talk about what they're thinking about, talk about what they're concerned about, talk about projects that they want to work on, talk about them. Number 2, for everybody on your team, you want to figure out what the most important goal is for them. What do they want in life? What is their most important goal right now? That might change in 6 months or a year and 2 years, but right now, what's a really important goal for them? This is what happened with Danny, right? We're driving down to Boston together. I'm getting to know him. I ask him what his most important goal is, and he wants to one day make this video. That's his most important goal. Figure out what that video looks like for everybody on your team and the people closest to you. If you don't have a team yet, doesn't matter. The people closest to you, your husband, your wife, the people who you partner with, your suppliers, what is their dream? What is the most important thing to them? If you understand that, then you know how you can help. Me knowing that that's Danny's dream allows me to know how I can help him. And if you know that for everybody on your team, then you know how you can help them. And step number 3 is push them on it. Right? All the advice that I always give to you, like get started, do something, immediate momentum, let's go, let's go, let's go. You can be that person for the people on your team. If you know what their dream is, you've gotten to know them, right? Step 1, you've understood what their most important goal is, then step 3 is push them on it. Figure out what the smallest possible step is for them to start taking action, and then help them do it. Hold them accountable, be their friend, be their support network, push them, find resources, find ways to help them out. Be a volunteer, like I would be in Danny's movie if he wants me to. I'll help him build his set if he wants me to. I want him to build momentum. At some point, he won't need me anymore. I'm giving him the push. I'll do things that I normally wouldn't do, things that I'm not interested in, just to see him win really badly, and he feels the love, and I know that's gonna come back to me. But you can be that support system for the people on your team and be comfortable with them potentially leaving your business. You don't want people on your team who are constantly insecure, who don't want to chase their dreams, and sees working with you as a backup career to what they actually want to do. Like, you're not going to get the best work out of people like that. Where if you are a stepping stone to somewhere else, that's ultimate success for everybody involved. When you want the people on your team to win more than you want them to win with you, that's when you actually win. Now I've got a really special bonus clip for you, but before that, I want to know, question of the day, who is one person on your team or in your area, a friend, a colleague, somebody who's around you, in your environment, in your circle that you see on a regular basis, who you are going to be that person for, who you're going to meet with them, get to know them better. You're going to figure out their most important goal, and you're going to push them on it, be their support system. Who is that person? Tell me their story quickly. We don't have to name names, but tell me about that person, what you're going to do to help them. Leave that in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself, and whatever your one word is, much love. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for another shot of Entspresso, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I wake up every morning. Espresso, keep me going.
So how do you define success?
I think success is seeing those around you work to their natural best and creating momentum for a vision, towards a vision that will last beyond yourself.
So a guy is driving a bus for 20 years, mm-hmm. Got to retire. He's on Madison Avenue in New York, packed every day as people getting on that bus and getting off. Mm-hmm. He has 2 kids, a wife, lives mm-hmm. in Queens. Mm-hmm. He might call himself successful. Mm-hmm. Another guy might be vice president of that company who would call himself unsuccessful. So is success what you make of it?
So the success is defined. Success is a feeling. It's not a series of check marks and goals. I think people define success as finish lines. You know, I ran a marathon, I'm successful. The question is, A, why did you run the marathon? And what happens after you've completed the marathon? Do you just keep running marathons? What happens if you break your leg and you can no longer run marathons? You know, a lot of people set financial goals. I'm successful when I make my first million. Okay, now I have to make my second million. Success is a feeling, and it's the feeling of contribution. So your bus driver in Queens, if he has decided that his job as a bus driver is to ensure that everyone who gets on his bus feels better about themselves because they got on his bus and not another bus. And so he greets them with a smile, he says good morning, he says goodbye, that people will remember that ride that they took with him, versus this vice president of the company who's made it about himself and his financial goals. He's the one who's unhappy, as opposed to seeing those around him succeed and those around him go home with a love of their day, you know, because they come to work in his company every day. So I still believe success and good leadership are about service to others.
Everything in your life happens for you, not to you. I'm just a huge believer in that. And so my baseball dream ended. I had an injury, probably gave me a premature end to a career that would have ended anyways in hindsight, because I played with enough great players that I kind of know there was a gap in just God-given ability level, not work ethic, but I think to be the greatest, there has to be some proclivity for it and work ethic, right? And so I kind of maxed out my limited abilities. And so when I got released, I ended up moving back home with my parents. I couldn't find a job. I was depressed. I spent about a year at my parents' house, just broke in every way, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically. And I remember my dad came home. My dad had just got sober. And my dad said to me, hey, I met this guy at a meeting. I got you a job. You get your ass down there tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. You're getting out of this house and getting a job. And I'm like, okay, I have a college degree. You know, I'm being picky for a year, watching Maury Povich reruns every day on TV and Jerry Springer. I go down there at 6 a.m. I walk in, I said, hey, my name's Eddie Milet. I'm here for the job. They're like, what job? I remember this vividly, right? And I'm like, I don't know. They just told me you'd know. And they go, well, we have no idea who you are and we don't know what the job is. They said, do you know who's hiring you? I said, I don't remember. And they go, well, then you need to come back. And I go to the door and I go, wait a minute, his name's Tim. They're like, there's a lot of Tims. And I go, well, I know he must be an alcoholic because he was at a meeting with my dad last night. They go, oh, drunk Tim, we know Tim, right? And where I was a place called McKinley Home for Boys. It was a group home, a campus of group homes. All my boys were wards of the court. They were removed from their family either because their parents were incarcerated, killed, or were molesting them. And I ended up in Cottage 8. Cottage 8, I had 12 boys. They were 7 to 10 years old. And I walked through that door that morning, not even knowing what the job was, and it transformed my life. I mean, in an instant, brother. I just saw these eyes, these little boys, and they just wanted someone to love them and believe in them and care about them. And I'd have this big belief that people that go through any dysfunction in their family or abuse as a kid, I think our eyes are different. We just have these different eyes, man. And so I could connect with these guys. Mine wasn't as severe as theirs, but I knew what it was like to have that kind of anxiety and that kind of stress and that kind of pressure put on you as a little boy. And I became like their father. I was there with them on Christmas and Halloween and their birthdays, and I lived with them. And it changed my world because in that instant, I went from being this athlete who was ego, recognition, significance, gonna get rich, it's all about me, always, when you're a good athlete, you knew this growing up, was always accolades. All of a sudden in that instant, it became about serving people, making a difference. And I'm like, oh, this is what makes me happy. Oh, I was actually born to serve and help people. Crazy. That never happened playing baseball. And while I worked there, 2 years into it, the financial business that I'm in came along. And I started in it part-time, and I was the rare young businessman who approached the business world from a place of service and giving and not making money. And ironically, the more I served people, the more I made a difference, the more I contributed, the more I was rewarded financially. I didn't do it for that reason, but that's what happened. So that's how I got into the business, was actually, and again, everything, my dad wasn't an alcoholic. He's not at that meeting. I don't get that job. And if it wasn't alcoholic, I wouldn't have connected with those boys. So all of that in hindsight happened for me, right? And had I met the financial business before that, I'd have flown out of it. I'd have been about ego, making money, and when that didn't happen, I'd have left. And so it all happened in the right sequence.
Wow.
Altruistic, world domination, honey empire, right?
I'm grateful. I understand why I'm here.
I think because I am so open.
I wanted to think and say, it's a bloody brief life.
All of you have the potential for enormous success.
If you want to know what Gary Vee, DJ Khaled, Oprah, and others know about empire building that most people miss, check out the link in the description for a free bonus video.